This video I intend to give a 4 to 5 week summary of my experience with the Tunze Reef Box 250 or the Comline 9004 skimmer and the inner filter. Now it's in the evening, so the blue light is on. I hope it's okay. I am currently coming off my second diatomic algae bloom in this aquarium. It's been a little different. Last time it just exploded and went away, and now it's actually creeping away, the diatomics. So I'm gonna try to solve the issue with diatomics separately. Purpose here is to give my feedback. Starting, I would like also to explain what thought I had on when I set up this tank. So, as I said in the unpacking, what I really liked about the Tunze was that it had, like, for an inbox skimmer, it had a surface skimmer intake, so I would get rid of the film, and actually that is how I set up it, because I wanted the protein film, which you typically get on the non-water dissolvable protein film which you get on saltwater tanks. I wanted that to get into the skimmer, so I get it off, and that's how I set up the system. I didn't want it to go into this filter, the inner filter, because I wanted to use some filter wadding, and I didn't want the protein to go into the filter wadding, because then I would start dissolving the proteins in there and not having it removed instantly. So to prevent that, I put the streamer in that corner and on the surface to actually blow the full protein film into the skimmer. That was the idea. I will pause the video to get another view, and you will see the result of that. Let's see. I tried this as a view. This is not the best light, but I just fed the fish, and you will see here that let's see if I can push my finger. You see here is still some flakes floating on the surface, and even so, the surface film is actually starting here, which is halfway in the tank, and the only part I'm keeping clear is this part, the first maybe 3 decimeters, and then I have a protein film for the rest of the tank. So what I planned, really, it didn't work. I will pause again, and you can see where the streamer is hitting the surface. You see the surface agitation, and past that it's actually a protein film. I might in the end, I think I have a daylight clip on this as well. I might post that in the end of this session, and you really see the issue. Now pause. Now, I'm really disappointed in the 9004 skimmer, and because I was having high hopes that it would remove the film. But I am also embarrassed, because now that I see the results, I can also understand what's happening. And what it is that both filters are, I think they're running the same pump, and but as this one is using like a skimmer impeller, it doesn't have a very strong pull down or suck in. So actually what you see is the surface level between outside and inside is just a few millimeters. So it's not strong enough to pull in and pull down the protein film. So I was hoping it would do that, but I kind of realized that maybe it's too much to expect from a skimmer impeller to pull it down. Why I make this movie now, yeah, I've run it for a month, but also I will start now changing the design, and I think I'll change the layout in 2 steps. First one is I will start using the inner filter, remove the filter wadding, and start using that one to pull down the protein film as much as possible, have it circulate in the water. So to achieve that one, actually I'm going to change the streamer to put it over here, so it actually instead pushes all of the surface film into this filter, because this filter has a really strong pull down. So that means that I'm going to start pulling down all of the protein film into the water, such that it has a better chance of actually sucking it up. Secondly, I might actually change the layout of the tank completely. So I put this inner filter here instead, and put the streamer back in this corner, so it pushes the surface, but the streamer and inner filter, they're working in this corner. Sorry, the skimmer and the inner filter is working in this corner, and they just have the protein film in front of them. I think that's a more efficient layout. Okay, so that's on the disappointment. On the experience, if we're starting with the inner filter, yeah, it's doing the job, but it has a very strong pull down. The bottom suction, I don't think it is as strong. It's clear under the filter, but not a lot, so I don't have a high efficiency of the bottom suction. I was of course hoping a little bit more. I haven't spent too much time focusing on why, but one of the experiences is actually that the jet coming out, I angled it 45 degrees up, but it's really strong together with the streamer. It's creating a really strong upwash, so I actually run into problems in this corner with LPS corals. First one I had problems with was the candy cane, and second one was the brain coral, the Favia dragon soul. So for this small aquarium, I know I'm pushing the limit with only 54 liters when they recommend 60 liters as minimum for this setup. It is a really strong upwash on that jet, so that one has to be considered. I'm actually thinking about the DIY it, to have a pipe to go up and hit the surface instead, because then it doesn't, then I can use it to agitate the surface and less mess with my corals. On the skimmer side, yeah, we talked a lot about being a little bit disappointment with the down suction, but skimmer performance, I'm very happy about. It has a very good bubble column, so it is working. Whatever I can get into the skimmer, I trust it will remove. But on the micro bubbles, I did a retuning last week where I followed the instruction to the fullest and actually open up the air ventilation in the skimmer to maximum. It's working fine. The skimmer is running, but I still have micro bubbles circulating in the tank. It's not so much, it doesn't bother me too much, but there is micro bubbles. I don't know what it said on the package, contact-free skimming or something like that. No bubbles, but yep, here is bubbles. But looking from the front, it's not too bothersome. So good and bad, with a little bit of disappointment, possibly because I had high expectations. Final thing, I got a comment about what is the noise level. I will actually try to make a demo now, and to make this demo what is creating sound currently. It is the streamer, the inner pump, the inner filter and the skimmer. So I will start pulling the streamer out, because we'll focus on the Tunze, and I'll be quiet doing this so you can hear the sound. If the microphone is picking up any sound difference. So the order I put it, I will first stop the streamer, then I will stop the skimmer, and lastly I will stop the inner filter, and I'll be silent. Okay. Whatever noise you're hearing now when I'm silent is actually my air-to-air heater pump in the house. And that was the ATO. Now I will do same order, but back reverse. I will start the inner filter. You will hear a little bit of background noise on that one, I think. And then I'll start the skimmer. The biggest noise keeper is the skimmer. So I start the inner filter and then the skimmer, and lastly I'll start the streamer. Okay, now all is running. One of the questions I got from, one question I got from Kevin was if that skimmer worked in a bedroom. I think it's too loud for a bedroom. I think the streamer and the inner filter would work. I've been talking to my wife now this evening if we should, between 8 and 9 in the evening when we're actually recovering, if I should put a timer to shut it off for an hour. We're having it in our living room, this one. It's for a skimmer, I don't think it's a loud skimmer, but it's not bedroom friendly. And I should also say that I don't know any bedroom friendly skimmers. Majority of the noise, I think, is actually the bubbles. It sounds like it comes from the top here, or possibly when the impeller is swirling up the bubbles, creating micro bubbles and minor bubbles. So most of the noise, I think, is the bubble creation. That said, where do we summarize? First of all, my plan failed with this aquarium. The inner filter is doing the job, the skimmer is doing the job skimmer, but I was hoping it's gonna pull down the film, but that one it doesn't do, and I'm getting micro bubbles. And I'm gonna probably redesign the aquarium to put all filters to the left here and only a streamer on the right. That said, I wish you a good evening and happy reefing.